Hi guys, I just had my good friend and skills mentor nowadays, I think it is, Anders Olofsson from Uphill Offroad School. We had a fika and he showed me a lot of settings. We went on the bike here in the garage, going through the settings and riding postures, and yeah, you can do a lot just without leaving the garage. So I grabbed the camera and put him in front of it, and yeah, so maybe you can learn something too. So here it is. Enjoy.
Robert has asked me to go through the position of the bike, and it's very important that you have a good feeling, and the bike should be your best friend. To start with, you should be straight in the back, and you should have bent arms, not straight, bent arms, pulling forward a little bit. And the hands should be like this, that this finger should point towards the middle of the handlebar. What is the reason behind that? That's because the elbows will be keeping up, and the elbows is very important to keeping up when you're taking a turn. And when we are looking at clutch and brake, I want them to be quite high up, and they should be so loose so you could move them. So like this. That's because the strength I have is best in this position, and all power is front or backwards. Then it's important that I am strong in my grip. I always have one finger on clutch and handbrake. And now when I have this position, with bent arms, straight back, and now when I'm raising up like this, straight legs, bent arms, and my cheek should be in front of the handlebar. Then I create a good pyramid. There all fours will go down in the front wheel. And then I always have a secure grip on the front wheel. Foot should be pointing into the bike, because if I hit something, then my knees will go together and grip the bike. I stand always on the foot blade on the pegs, and that's because of I get better traction on the rear wheel, and I could have a good balance on the bike. And when I should change gear, then I have to move forwards, of course. And if you should go uphill, then it's very important that you stand on the foot blades. Then you will have a much better grip. So this is the position where we are moving. As I said before, the clutch should be in this position. And it's very important that you have some space here. On Robert's bike he has mounted hand guards, and I'm not that fond of that, because I like my hands to be able to get off the handlebar if I have an accident. And also, if you should bring in the clutch, then I want a couple of fingers on the outside of the clutch, so I have a good grip on the handlebar at the same time as I will move the clutch, and it's quite close here.
So you don't like my rear view mirrors?
No, it's a little bit too tight, but and I also, you have
Heated grips.
and they are building, so you get quite a large diameter of the grip. If you have just rubber, then it will be a little bit tighter, and also you have a better grip on a enduro gripper.
So I was thinking, if I don't have these hand guards and just the sort of enduro ones
Yeah.
that sticks out there, these take a lot of beating now if I fall. Will that still work? I'm afraid of breaking the levers.
But then I have loosened up so I could move it. So if you crash, then the plastic will move away, and the clutch will also follow that.
Okay.
But at the same time, on Yamaha you have the aluminium plug that are sticking to the handlebar.
The weights.
The weight, and I still using that, and then I have a lot of space also to move around a little bit, and it's easier to have this position. So you're
I can see you it gets a bit tight here for the way you want to have your hands.
Well, when we talk about the handlebar, I like the standard handlebar that we have on the T7, but you have a lot of different angles and width and so on. But I'm happy with this one. But when you're looking at the handlebar, it should be in line with the front fork and a couple of degrees towards me. Then it's good. I often see on the courses I have that people mount handlebar risers, and that's something we are trying to avoid, because you try to be as close as possible they should be so close as possible to the triple clamp. Instead you have to adjust here so you have the right position. So even if you are a very long person, you should move here. You shouldn't move or raise the handlebar, because then you lose traction on the front wheel.
Yes, but because we often see people standing straight up like
this.
Yeah, exactly. That's the adventure rider special.
Yeah. And then that's the weakest position you could have on a motorbike, because you have straight arms. It's a risk to have biscuit throttle, and you're not strong here. When you move like this, then you get very strong, and your bent arms will keep you secure. So avoid handlebar races. Should we talk a little bit about the front fork and adjustments that are possible? We will not talk about compression or rebound, but if you are a little bit shorter, then it's possible to release these bolts here. It's 2 up and 2 in the bottom of the fork clamp, and then you could move up the front fork leg up to 10-15 millimeters, not more than 50 millimeters, and then you will have a lower bike.
So 50 millimeters?
Oh.
Okay, that's quite a lot.
It's a lot, but that's possible. And then when you tighten this, it's very important to use a moment
torque wrench
tool.
Yeah.
Because if you tighten them too hard, then they could get oval.
Yeah, you sort of squeeze the tube and it gets deformed in a way.
And now if you move up the front leg, then the bike will be, you get a new angle of the bike.
Yeah, it's tilting forward.
It's tilting forward, and then you get a harder pressure on the front wheel. And at the same time, it will be much easier to make turns. So if you have a feeling that you have difficulties to make turns, then you move up the front.
So larger
Yeah.
is that. So you lower the front
Yeah.
to get easier turns.
But at the same time, the bike will be, you will have less traction in the rear end.
Oh yeah.
So this is, you have to compromise and find out where your best setting is. But usually you have around 5 to 8 millimeters here. And in the back, I usually say that the free sag should be around 30 millimeters. And that means that the bike is quite, it is pushing on the front end. And the nice thing when you have it like that is that if you lose the grip on the back wheel, it will slowly go back.
Oh.
But if you have a large sag in the back end, then it's trying to grip all the time. So when the back end goes out, it will throw you back.
Okay, so if it sags too much, it will sort of try to grip all the time.
It's grip, and it's
Yeah.
very stable if you go straight forward, but it's difficult to turn to a curve.
Okay.
So if you move up the front here to 5 millimeters or something like that, then it should be 30 in the back end. But if you move up more, then you could increase the sag a little bit, so you get the balance
Okay.
if you want to lower the whole bike.
Okay. Yeah. Because it's the tilting
Yeah.
that is the thing,
Yeah.
not only the sag, but the sort of angle of the whole bike.
And it's the same thing for BMW, Triumph, most of the bikes, that it should be 30 millimeters. And if you look on the BMW 1250 or something, it should be run in enduro mode, then you will have 30 millimeters.
And that is 30 millimeters. Is that race sag when you're on it, or when it's just
It's free sag.
free sag? Okay, so you're not on the bike.
We're only talking about free sag.
Okay. So that's without luggage, without rider, anything. So 30 centimeters, just standing.
Yeah. Because when you put on bags and stuff like that, if it will be too much compression on the spring, then you have to change spring to have correct
Yeah, correct sag.
spring, correct sag.
Yeah.
If it's loaded sag. Usually I have a pallet that fits exactly under the bike. And if the spring changed, then I can't get the pallet in under the bike.
Okay. Yeah, that's a way to see it. And then I load the bike, and that's when I use the preload mostly to get the easiest.
Yeah.
Yeah. The feeling of the bike, then I guess it's not one thing that makes it better.
No, it's several things. It's several things, and the suspension is very important, of course.
Yes.
So but one thing that you have to train so much, so the bike will be your best buddy, that you feel one with the bike. That's the important thing.
Yeah, and for a quite unexperienced guy like me, because I've ridden a lot, but I haven't configured things like that so much. I've just used, yeah, this is what it feels like. And it wasn't until I tried your suspension settings that I felt, oh, this is much better. So I didn't know what good felt like.
Oh.
And I think that's a big problem among a lot of adventure riders.
What could you expect?
Yeah, how good can it be?
Yeah.
So, and it comes down to everything with tire pressure, suspension setup, sag, controls, and it's all
it's the whole thing.
Everything's connected, man.
Yeah. It is.
Yeah.
But the important thing is to practice. And Robert visited me, and he take a couple of laps on the track, and I was watching him, and he was doing very well. Good position.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, so I look forward to riding more with you outside and become better and get your eyes and suggestions on how to become a better rider.
Yeah.
So, but you have these training camps also in the region,
and it's basic courses. I look at the participants on the position, and we go through all the moments that you need to be safe on a gravel road. That's one step basic, and then I have advanced, and it's more small tracks and a little bit more difficulties, but
more challenging.
Yeah,
like sand and obstacles and things like that. All right.
So you are welcome.
Yeah. Well, it's great having you here.
Yeah,
so see you back out on the track.
Yeah.
All right.